You're not losing money because lead gen's expensive. You're losing money because your offer's weak as hell. Look, agents love to bitch about the rising costs of leads and everything else under the planet. And look, frankly, I don't blame you or any other agent, right? This is one of those things that the real estate industry doesn't teach you. I think it really fails agents because of this. There's exactly two things. And the first one is they don't teach you how to be an expert marketer. And then you go out and you copy what everybody else is doing, everybody who's making no money. Right? The statistics prove it. You can't put out this generic, boring stuff like, what's my home worth? And expect that sellers are going to jump for you. They're not. It's not compelling. So it's not the lead cost that is expensive. It's running a shitty ad that's expensive. Meanwhile, there are agents in every market right now that are making more money than ever because they're writing these compelling ads that speak to the seller's emotion, their ego, their highest level wants, and they're freaking cleaning up while you're losing all of your money. Look, if you want to keep writing these kind of ads, just do it. Keep following the leader off a cliff. It's a miserable and it's a very quick death like most real estate agents. You're not going to go broke from just your lead spend. You're going to go broke from having to try and buy food. And so look, I remember when I got into real estate. Now, I had studied direct response marketing. I've known this forever. Before I ever got into real estate, almost 40 years now. And I got in and I decided I was going to be coachable. I was going to listen to the broker. It's their rules. I'm used to doing shit for myself, but I'm going to listen to their rules. And I did. And I got in there and the guy gave me their marketing. I'm not going to name the company. It's a big company. But they gave me their materials. And this is how we want you to position the brokerage, which is like marketing fuck up number one. We don't talk about us or the brokerage. We should talk about them. And I knew this. I knew this in my head, but I did it. I did it for, 30, 60 days max before I said hell with this and did what I wanted. But I sent out this stuff about how we're the greatest office in town. We've got the National Relocation Network. We this and we that. And all the seller here is blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit. Right? And so I finally just, I flipped the switch, right? I'm like, I'm going to do what I know, direct response marketing. Literally, in less than 2 weeks, I pulled in 11 listings. I walked into my office, I put 11 on the board, and they're like, well, how the hell did you do that, new agent? And I went, some actual really good friggin' marketing. So if you want to write marketing that gets sellers to actually start chasing you so you don't have to look like an idiot banging on their door or cold calling them or saying stupid things that repel them, here are 3 ads that you can write that will immediately flip the switch for you just like it did for me. In fact, I'm going to show you how to come up with the best 3 ways in your marketplace. The first step is to look at your marketing that you're already doing. I want you to go back. I want you to pull every Facebook ad that you've written. I want you to find anything you've put out there, whether it's free stuff on Nextdoor, whether you even had a little script in your head that you were using when you were door knocking or cold calling. Pull it all out. If you've done magazine ads, lay that out. Put it out in front of you. Do this. Stop the video and do this. It's a really great exercise where things will become really clear in front of your eyes. I do this with everybody in my programs, and it just it shifts their thinking immediately. So pull it all out. You got a billboard, take a shot of it, lay it out. I want you to see what you're writing. And I want you to look through each one of those pieces, and I want you to see if you can find any real compelling reason that a seller would call you. Now here's the key. Over and above anybody else in the marketplace, or for any reason they would choose you over any other option there is to market their house and get it sold. Really take a look at it. And I'm going to give you a hint here. It has nothing to do with you or your accomplishments or how great you freaking think you are. Just keep thinking nobody gives a shit about me while I'm looking through this. And what great benefit is there that these sellers clearly see very quickly that would make them pick up the phone and call me over and above anybody else? In fact, not even call anybody else. Take a little time and look at that. I guarantee you that if you're like the majority of agents, and I mean unless you're the 1% of 1% of 1%, I guarantee you will find no compelling reason. And don't trick yourself. Don't say, well, I did sell a bunch of homes, so they're going to go, hey, I'm going to call him. Or I have I listed a bunch in this neighborhood, so they're going to call me. Bullshit. Be very, very, very real with yourself. If you lie to yourself, you'll screw yourself. Look for a real compelling reason. I guarantee you didn't find it. And look, if you want to go through this exercise, especially the next one I'm going to give you in detail here, you want to see how to do it on your own, just go to comelistmebook.com, get a copy of my Come List Me book. It just walks you through the whole process. Number 2 is I want you to do what's called free writing. This is a really old and it's a classic, and it's one of the most powerful marketers' tricks on the planet. It's called free writing. It's letting your subconscious do all the thinking for you. And this may sound like some hocus pocus voodoo bullshit, but it's not. It really works. I know a lot about psychology and the human mind and NLP and formally trained in hypnosis. Just trust me when I tell you, your mind already has all the answers. You've already got these offers inside of your head. We've just got to bring them out. So what you'll do, go get yourself a sheet of paper, grab a pen, and I want you at the very top, I want you to write, what do these people really, and in all caps, word want? Question mark. And then I want you to look at that sheet of paper, and I want you to ask yourself that question, even if you said it out loud, what do these people really want? Write down the first thing that comes to your mind. And then you go, what else? Write down the first thing. What else? 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 You should be writing until you're getting no answers. I don't care if the word that comes to your head is blueberries. Write it down. If you stop for even a half a second to think about it and to rationalize, you're letting your conscious mind take over, and it's going to fuck things up. You go with your answers here. I guarantee you in there, you're going to find things about selling fast, getting the most amount of money, have this thing gone in a week, not having to deal with the headaches, no hassles at all, whatever it is. You're going to find those gems in there, and I'm going to show you how to find them here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through, and you're going to take a black Sharpie, and you're literally going to line out everything that's just bullshit. You're going to line out blueberries. You're going to line out, a free pizza. You're going to, all this crazy stuff. You're going to also line out the me stuff. And this is where you have to be really disciplined. Line out the thing that says, I'm number one. I've sold 100 homes. They want the real estate specialist. They want the best agent. They want a good negotiator. They don't give a shit about that stuff. They'll care later, but you'll never sell them on that. Okay, cross it all out until you get down to those wants. Think about what those sellers really want. Once you find 3 that now it's okay to rationalize 3 of them, and you go, which would be the most compelling to my sellers? Now, I did another video on telling you how to find out what is most compelling to them, but this helps you to write different offers to test, right? Circle 3. You now have 3 offers. So here's how you might write those. If it was, you sell the house fast, maybe you would look at what the average selling time was in that neighborhood, and you would tell them that you could sell it 5 days or 6 days faster. Sometimes we tack on guarantees or promises or something that gives us skin in the game. We're not going to worry about that now. Even if you just said these words, even if you wrote you sent out a postcard that said, who else wants to be the next Chimney Springs homeowner to sell their home to sell their home 6 days faster? And then you put a whole bunch of testimonials, pictures of people on there. That will work. That'll work way better than the average agent stuff. They'll 10x the response. Maybe it's about money. What if they're just wanting the highest price? The market's selling really fast. Maybe you could figure out something like, you could bluntly say, I'll sell it for more money. Or you could maybe figure out that, hey, I've had a couple of recent sales that averaged out to be, say you're in a higher end neighborhood, it ended up to be $29,285 more on average than what the average agent selling them for in the last month. Who else wants to be the next Chimney Springs homeowner that wants to sell their home for an extra $29,875? Testimonials. There's various ways you can write these ads. I'm giving you a simple way of using it without a guarantee, right? What if it's been a massive headache? What if your sellers, it's just an absolute nightmare to get the deal done? You're in like lower income, potentially FHA deals that are tough, or maybe you're in higher end where they just want it like automated for them. Write an ad that says, I'll sell your house without all the headaches, without all the usual headaches and hassles involved with the average agent, and put average agent in quotes. Who else wants to be the next Chimney Springs homeowner to sell their house absolutely headache-free? And we'll continue with the ad there, right? And put testimonials. So that's how you write these. Those 3 offers, I'm telling you, they're really the golden ticket. This is what gets you from being this guy or girl who's wasting money on ego ads and getting nothing in return to starting to see things grow in your business and starting to see that return go 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30x. And here's the third thing. Give people a minimum of 2 ways of getting a hold of you. Make it easy on them, again, not you. Look, this is a golden rule in marketing. They always have to have 2 ways of getting in touch with you, minimum. You couldn't put too many ways. You want to give them a very direct way. That should be your cell phone or your office phone, wherever somebody's going to answer right away. Those are your come list me calls, right? Those are those people who are dead set, ready to go, come list me, don't have to sell me at all. But you also need to have another way of them getting more information without having to talk to you. Now, what would be a good way of doing this today? Use AI. Use SMS AI, right? Set up something that says, or you could text this keyword to this information to get instant information without having to talk to anybody at all. Tell them right up front. Keep the heat off of them. You're going to literally 2 and 3x your calls every single time by giving them that non-threatening way. Now, you're going to get people that are looking to move, way out in the future, maybe a year, maybe 6 months, 3 months. You're also going to get a lot of those come list me people who just wanted to get a little more information. So what that thing does, that number, that SMS, that AI will reach out back out to them. It'll let them know they opted in. You will use the, you can opt out, standard language, and it will say, hey, saw you wanted this info, just click here. It will take them over to a landing page where you can write a longer form sales pitch. A postcard doesn't have much room. A billboard doesn't have much room. So we're bold with the offer. We're bold with the call to action. We're bold with that massive benefit to them. But we go to a different thing, like a landing page where you have an infinite amount of, pun intended, real estate to take them down the rabbit hole. Dig. And then at the end, then you go to the one way of reaching you, which is contact me here. And look, if you want to get listings really quickly using this kind of marketing on a small budget, just watch this next video. It's called, If I Had 30 Days to Get 5 Listings, What Would I Do? I'll show you the exact way that I would do it, and I'll see you there.